Cathy Thomas. Oh boy, Lewis Butler, executive chef at Henry's at the Waterfront Hilton in Huntington Beach, is here to make his sweet potato waffles with Japanese fried chicken and maple garlic syrup. What an irresistible combo of flavors and textures. Chef, this dish is a brunch bonanza.
Yes, we wanted to do something that was a little twist on the chicken and waffles, and I think we did a little Asian flair on it that's going to be spectacular.
I've tasted it and I know it's delicious. Show me how.
So let's get started. We're going to make our waffle batter. This is kind of like a Belgian waffle batter.
So this is whole milk?
Whole milk, and we're just going to scald it. We've got our yeast, dry yeast here, and we're going to put a little bit of flour in. We're going to get the yeast to start working because there's some eggs and sugar and then also the sweet potatoes. So when we put all that into the batter, the yeast is going to get a little bit slower. So this is going to start it to help it to move along.
Right, and tell me about how hot you want the milk to be.
So scalding is like just over 100, 110, 112 degrees, but we don't want to put the hot milk into the batter because too hot is going to kill the yeast as well.
Right.
This is what you're looking for. We've got like a little bit of a film there, a little skin.
And the tiny little bubbles around the edge.
You don't want to boil it.
Right.
So I've done some ahead of time. So it's pretty much room temperature now. And we're going to add just enough.
You're kind of making a paste, right?
Yeah, kind of like a paste. We don't want it all watery. The yeast is going to feed off of the milk and the flour.
Tell me about the flour.
So a lot of times when you're making breads, you're using a bread flour. It's higher in gluten. But for the waffle, I'm just using regular all-purpose flour.
Got it.
So we're going to set this aside somewhere where it's warm. Just cover it. And eventually it's going to look like that. You see how it's foamy?
That yeast is
starting to work. And you can smell it too. You can smell it going.
Yeah.
I'm going to add some more milk that we scalded. I'm going to add the rest of our flour. Some more milk.
And what consistency are you looking for here, Chef?
Like a pancake batter. Not super runny, but not really thick either. The sweet potato, I think, is going to make it a little bit runnier because there is some moisture in the potato.
And do you worry about lumps?
No, because the potatoes are gonna, when we mix the potatoes in there as well, it's gonna be fine. We have our butter here melted. You can just microwave it if you want, or just heat it up on the stove.
How could this be bad? It just can't be bad.
Well, sweet potatoes are healthy, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So here, we're getting a little bit runnier, right? But we still have eggs to put in there. We're gonna put our sugar in. We're gonna put our eggs.
Large eggs?
Large eggs, two large eggs. And then I'd like to put a pinch of salt. Thank you, Cathy.
You're welcome.
And a little bit of vanilla. Vanilla and sweet potatoes go really well together. So now we have a sweet potato here, or you can use yams. Yams are darker, give it more color. We baked it at 350.
About an hour?
About an hour. Till it's tender, you can stick a knife in and it goes in super easy.
And you're using the darker skinned sweet potato,
That's right.
Not the light skinned one.
Not the light ones.
So the flesh is going to be that beautiful deep orange color.
And that's gonna come out when we make our waffles as well. You can make the potato ahead of time if you want.
I assume you don't want it to be hot.
No, hot potatoes are hard to handle.
Yeah.
We're just gonna use our whisk. I mean, you could always put it in food processor.
I like this way because
this
there's one less thing to wash.
It's almost like making guacamole here, isn't it?
And you don't care if there's some little pieces left, right?
No, that's gonna give you some texture. We're just gonna add our batter to this. And we can pretty much use it all.
Not only is this going to be delicious, you've added nutrients to this brunch dish.
We're gonna let this sit for a little while. Next thing we're gonna do is marinate our chicken. I'm gonna use chicken thighs. They fry up juicier.
They're so much more delicious
More
than
flavor.
chicken breasts.
First, we're gonna peel our ginger, and a spoon works pretty good for this, because if you use a peeler, there's so many bumps.
Yeah. And I have to admit to you, Chef, sometimes I cheat and just leave the skin on.
Yeah, you know what? Especially for a marinade, we're not digesting any of this.
Yeah.
Cut a little bit. We're gonna smash it, crush it, just roughly chop it. We're gonna marinate the chicken breasts probably for an hour. You can marinate them a day ahead if you like.
In the fridge.
In the fridge. Then we're gonna put some garlic in there. Again, we're just gonna crush it.
Nice big garlic cloves,
Nice.
Chef. Like those.
Then we have soy sauce. And I like the light sodium. The
I
other
do
one
too.
seems to be too salty. And then we're gonna use mirin. Mirin's a sweet cooking wine. We're just gonna quickly mix that. And then put our chicken thighs right inside
And then this goes into the fridge.
for an hour. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is fry the chicken. We've got our oil heating up here.
Right, canola oil.
Canola, grapeseed's really good. Peanut oil is the best for frying. You want it about 375 if you have a thermometer at home. If you don't have a thermometer, I like to just use bread. And you can see
It's
how
frying.
warm it is. We're gonna take our chicken thighs, put it in the potato flour.
So it can be potato flour or potato starch.
Potato
Either
flour,
one.
potato starch.
What else have you got in that?
And then we put a little bit of togarashi, Japanese seasoning,
Right.
which gives it the flavor,
Yeah.
which gives it the color as well. And then we're just gonna. And you could shallow fry this. We're almost deep frying it with the amount of oil I have in here. But you could just put a little less in and then just fry it on each side. And we want to cook the chicken to like 160. We're gonna just flip it over a little bit, but you can see it's browning nicely.
About how long are we going to cook this, Chef?
4 minutes on each side, probably.
And it's already starting to brown really nicely.
So I think we're pretty much there. You want to get the thickest point of the chicken. We're a little over 170, so we're good to go.
And you have more wiggle room when you're using thighs rather than breasts.
That's true. So Cathy, our next step is to make the waffles.
Let's do it. Come on.
We've got this professional waffle iron, really hot. I've sprayed it a little bit, just so hopefully it won't stick. And we're just gonna scoop it in and then just spread it out because we don't want it too thick. But we might need a little bit more. And then we're just gonna shut this, flip it over.
And now at Henry's, you're serving brunch.
That's right.
And this is on the brunch
This
menu?
is on our brunch menu.
Oh, boy. And what are you looking for in a cooked waffle?
Definitely like crispy on the outside, a little moist inside or a little chewy. Instead of using baking powder or baking soda, the yeast gives it a little bit more lighter. So you get the crispiness on the outside and light inside. Okay, so we're gonna flip the waffle back.
Oh, that's beautiful, Chef.
We're gonna just pull it off. And there you go.
Beautiful.
We're gonna cut the waffle here. There. I'm gonna use 2 pieces per person. I'm gonna take one of these pieces of chicken. Sprinkle some togarashi on top.
A little bit of heat.
A little bit of green onions on top that I put in cold water so they curl. And then we're just gonna garnish it with a little bit of powdered sugar.
Oh, yum.
And then we take some maple syrup, we put some cloves of garlic in, and we let the garlic marinate in a cold place with the maple syrup. So it gives it almost a sweet soy flavor.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chef.
My pleasure, thank you.
You just are such a joy, and I'm not going to share this with anybody. Here's a quick tip from Melissa's. Chicken can make a delicious taco filling, but boneless, skinless chicken breasts can lack flavor bling. Chipotle chilies, canned in adobo sauce, add both flavor and aroma to the poaching liquid. Chipotles are smoked, dried jalapeno chilies, and they add an enticing, rich smokiness. More add-ins heighten flavor too, including garlic, orange juice, and Worcestershire sauce. This taco filling can be made in advance and reheated. To boost the flavor, substitute boneless, skinless chicken thighs for the breasts. Serve the filling with warm tortillas, shredded cabbage or lettuce, tomatoes, and oh yeah, avocado. Be generous with the veg. Add cheese if you like. For me, a whisper of grated queso fresco is perfect. So delicious.